Hey everybody, welcome back to Shay Say. This is Marsha here, and today I guess I'm gonna just do like a quick little life update. I'm gonna just jump right into the video. There's really like no, no outline, no preface, no guidance to this. I just kind of hopped on here and did it. But first, let me ask you, how have you been? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't, please follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of different content on there as well. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of new things planned, so I'm going to just hop right in. So right now in life, I'm going through this thing called get out of my own way. We probably all have heard that saying, like, you could be your own biggest enemy, get out of your own way. Life is a journey of just development time after time. And I am in this space where I'm really just trying to push out of my own way, get out of my own head, and also heal. So going right into healing. So I always say I am a very, very highly self-regulated person. What is self-regulated? I am able to identify, in a sense, my emotions, and then how to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? I need help. I have a hard time kind of finding words and stuff, but it's I know how to identify my emotions and kind of handle it in a sense. But lately, especially towards the end of last year, probably honestly some years it was just dormant or whatever, I kept getting that nudge, maybe you should go seek a therapist, just seek assistance, because yeah, you have your own toolkit and you know how to kind of handle your own situations. But I will always kind of in my own way process my situations, or what I was feeling, going through, handle it, but I would still feel confused. And I hope whatever I say in this video makes sense. If it doesn't, if it doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments. I'll try to even clarify more, or maybe expand on certain parts. But yeah, it was I would still be left feeling confused in all this stuff. Even I became kind of stagnant in life. I always say, and this is me just being transparent and open, I always say that I'm 26 now. I'll be 27 this year. But I always felt I was living the same year since the age of 20. And even kind of it's my body is growing up, I've learned new things to gain wisdom, but my life was still kind of stagnant. And there's a lot that happened in these past 6 years that I thought I was dealing with it, but I didn't allow myself to deal with it. So I finally sought assistance, because when I turned 26 last year, I was no, I'm not spending, especially going into the second half of my 20s, I'm not spending the second half of my 20s how I spent the first half of my 20s. I'm that's just not happening. I have to get on my own way. I can't live like this. I know that I am supposed to be doing more on this earth. I'm still kind of figuring out even what that is, but now I take the pressure off myself, and I just surrendered that all to God. So it was I sought therapy, because I always say I came to the end of my own toolkit, and I knew I needed more assistance. And when I say that I've been going for a month, and I have seen tremendous just growth from how I handle and process things, how I view things through a very subjective lens. So subjective is this is my perspective. This is how I view things that have happened to me, versus looking at the whole picture of what's happened. And all the time, it's not wrong to view things as what happened to me, but sometimes your brain, we all know your mind and your brain can lie to you. It could play it could lie to you. It could play tricks on you and everything. Also, from me being in therapy and talking with my therapist, I have also had a lot of self-realizations within myself. Some things that I wasn't even aware of. We always like to play, what's the word, victim? Or we always like to say how somebody else is toxic, but we don't recognize our own like toxicity and everything. And there were a lot of things that I had to like, you know, like really sit back and reflect on in my life. Like one thing I found was I kind of did have, and I'm still working on like a negative mindset, like more like that complainer mindset, like woe is me, or like, well, this isn't going right in my life, making excuses instead of being in denial. Whereas now it's like, how are you going to fix it? Like, you don't like this, so fix it. How are you going to fix it? And everything. So I always say, like, when you are ready, when you feel that nudge, like if you feel like therapy is something that you need to do to just help yourself heal, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And also, along with therapy, I have really, honestly, to this morning, I kind of was like praying, and it was like just a half prayer in the shower, because that's something else that I'm I am actively, because I even like certain words you gotta like use, like I'm not trying to, I'm doing, like I want to do this, no, I'm doing this. But I was just praying. I'm like, it was a restore. That's the word. But it was a song called like Restoration, and I'm like, I want to like, you know, God, I want to like restore myself in you. I want to restore our relationship. Like, this is a partnership we have, because I keep saying this, I probably said this in past videos, trying to do like life by myself, and I can't do that by myself. I had to stop lying to myself, you know, and it's like really like surrendering everything to God. Like, I honestly, I can't even tell y'all the idea life I have for myself. Like, I think it's all changing. Like, sorry, my face itches. But like, I'm rediscovering myself, pieces of myself, and I'm also like rediscovering who I am in God. But sometimes we can base our image off of social media, or we can base like how we should live our lives off of social media and everything. For me, like everybody that knows, I don't dress like the Instagram attire, like all of that. I don't dress like that. That's not my style. That wouldn't be me being true to myself. No, I'm all about too right now, like just self-love, like really loving myself. Because I like, as a teenager, literally like 16-year-old Marche, I love myself. You couldn't tell me nothing about it. I didn't grow up being that girl that had like all the clothes, like my hair down the top, but I still love myself. I don't know what happened, honestly, where I had became this girl where I compared myself a lot. I definitely doubted myself, and I'm like I'm kind of like uprooting that now. I doubted myself a lot. I became like insecure in a sense, and I had never been like that. And that was the other thing for me that was like confusing. Like, I've never been like this. So I'm all about like just self-love, like being my authentic self, and also with being my authentic self and trying to become like becoming a better me is also recognizing like my old ways, my old habits, my old pathways. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I got a little bit of crazy mixed in here, you know. So I still have an issue with, you know, not just shooting off or being like impulsive. I'm still working like on my attitude. I'm still, I'm also like rebuilding relationships. I'm learning that, because I kind of closed myself off to the world. I'm learning, like I said, just to get out of my head, get out of my own way. I told my therapist, she asked me like, what would be your message to the world? And I try not to be like, I talk fast sometimes, especially like when I'm kind of like on the road, I'm passionate. But I told her, I said, my message to the world is to say that I am here. I'm not existing no more. I am actively participating in life. Like, there's just no other way for me to do it. Because she even asked me, like, are you living to work or working to live. I have been living to work, and let me tell you, that is not a way you're supposed to live life. And I'm steadily trying to I'm just steadily doing, just trying to find my way so I can work to live. It's like work hard now, play hard later. That doesn't mean that your later is going to be like 30 years. Your later could literally be like 2-3 years or something, like down the line. Like, y'all see my background. It's not what I want it to be right now, but I'm not gonna stop making videos because my background isn't how I want it to be right now. Like, this is the work part. Like, I'm just working. I'm steadily trying to like put out content, trying to be consistent with my content. You know, I even expanded and trying to shape. I made like my bracelet, like my I Love Me bracelet. I'll insert a picture which you can actually purchase that down below in the link underneath this video, description and everything. And I'm kind of like a small rebranding, because Shay Say honestly is, I like seeing people happy. Like I told my friend, like he had got like this shout out and everything, and he was happy, and I'm like, I like seeing my people happy, and you guys are my people too. So Shay Say is to make sure that you guys are happy. Like, whatever I can do, whatever information like I have, whatever I can instill from my own personal life, especially self-love, loving yourself, and self-confidence and self-assurance. That's what Shay Say is about. So if I was to say, what is my message to the world from Shay Say? Is to be you and love yourself unconditionally. And remember, each day that your eyes open, it's a reset for that day. Don't worry about yesterday. Yesterday is gone. Today, and if God blesses you and I to open our eyes tomorrow, that's a new day.